Last time on the Back 40, Mark finally kicked off deer season, and UC Berkeley's Luke McCauley helped us sort out the impact small farms can have on large-scale conservation. Now, it's time to get serious about finding a big, huge buck.
It's fall here, and things are changing. The autumn colors have brought with them the unmistakable feeling that deer season's in full swing. Over these past 5 months, through all the ups and downs, I found inspiration from famed conservation writer Aldo Leopold. His book, A Sand County Almanac, is sitting on my nightstand right now. Leopold famously advocated for Americans to develop a land ethic, which he explained would require humans shifting their relationship with land from that of conqueror to steward. I know we need to develop this kind of land ethic here on the Back 40. To help with that task, I invited Doug Duren, another disciple of Leopold and one hell of a farmer, to give us his insight on how to better transform our property. He's been reviewing the Back 40 on Onyx for months, and it's time to get him on the ground and see what he thinks.
Already, just the small amount of work we've done, you're starting to see an impact. We've already seen deer crossing the landscape where we've cut trails or where we tried to plant screens of sorghum.
So much of what you know about white-tailed deer and how they move and how they react to changes in the landscape, that's really all we're talking about doing. Yep. So then using some of these things that are both good for your priority of white-tailed deer hunting, but then also that other species are going to benefit from. There are, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's 6 different field areas.
Yeah, 6 little fields. In
the back, there's 2 that total 15 acres. And maybe those are something that we look at actually continuing to farm them.
Yeah.
Make a deal with a farmer that he could come in and do that. And we have to make sure that it fits all of the other things that we're trying to do. And in the short term, you've got that back in production. And as you know, farm fields are some of the greatest food plots, Yeah. And so there's going to be an opportunity there, but at least it's something that's beneficial in the short term. And then the rest of these smaller areas, like this area, I know you've talked about it being pollinator habitat, yeah, which makes complete sense to me. And then the 2 or 3 other areas, I think about one neighbor over here. We're seeing their house and their stuff. Yeah, their stuff. I was going to say their junk, and we're seeing their house, we're seeing their stuff. So that'd be a great area for a screen. If there was a bunch of buckthorn there, I'd say leave it, but yeah, it looks like he's kept that cleared out.
Yeah.
But that might be a good place for a screen of these evergreens, and then maybe some native shrubs, along with them.
If you actually took me up on the idea of coming out here and helping, what would be like the first couple things we would do if you had to list them out in rank order?
The 2 areas in this property that I think need the most attention, or the most immediate attention, are these field areas and the invasive species. And if you needed help getting seeding and that sort of thing done, I'm a farmer.
And I'm trying to learn how to be one.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
Work, time, and money.
I love doing that stuff, though. It's fun.
So, all right, I'm gonna have you come out. We're gonna plant trees. We're going to remove buckthorn, and we're gonna hang ladder stands.
Perfect.
All right. For now, we hunt though.
All right.
It's the late October pre-rut, and if things play out the way I'm hoping they will, the mature buck activity on our place is about to pick up. But to this point, we still haven't seen any of these deer up and active during a hunt.
All right, so other than, I know you've got a lot of wise words for me this weekend. I feel like that's what I'm going to get with you. It's just wisdom. Well, that's really all I need is wisdom, because I don't have any of it.
Well, hell, man, if I haven't got some wisdom after 60 years,
What have you?
Yeah, right. I've been wasting my time,
But I'm also kind of hoping that we can get a shot of buck, because all this time, when Steve came out to visit, when our other guests came out to visit, when these different biologists came out, it was always, we hope there's going to be some deer to hunt. We hope there's going to be mature buck. We've been checking trail cameras for months, and there haven't been any. Just recently, we started getting some. We have 3 bucks that I think.
Well, they knew I was coming.
This wide one here.
Oh yeah, man. There's no mistaking him, is there?
Kind of the wide 8. Simply calling him that. Definitely mature, got a big body on him.
Oh man, yeah,
big,
there's some
thick
age
chest.
there for sure.
He's been showing up a lot. And we got this one, the tall 8, creatively named as well.
Boy, yeah, where are you coming up with these names?
Try to keep it
Staying up all night, coming up with these
keep it
names.
simple. And then we got this guy. And I'm calling him Dan. I wasn't gonna call him the lopsided 9. Now I think I want to call him Dan.
Oh, after your buddy?
I got a buddy named Dan, a weird buddy named Dan with 9 fingers, and this is a weird 9-pointer.
Oh.
So it's either the lopsided 9 or Dan.
Have $3 like that on a property this small, kind of out of the chute?
It's not bad.
Oh man, yeah.
So tonight, I think there's a spot right near where I actually bumped that wide buck on our very first hunt in here when we were walking in. Jumped this buck right off the edge of our field, and it was that wide buck, and he went running the timber. And I've got a ground blind set up real close to that. So I think that'd be a good spot for you.
Cool. So I'm in a ground blind, nice comfortable chair.
Yes.
You're gonna go swing from a tree like a monkey.
I'm gonna get high in the tree and get a different vantage point. I'm excited to get just after you're out here for a few days, really see what you think about it. It's interesting seeing that button buck all alone, but when you start seeing them by themselves like that, it's usually indicative of the rut picking up. Man, I can't believe we haven't seen more. It just seemed like tonight should have really been good. Just the one little button buck so far, but I'm hoping though, since I haven't seen anything tonight, I'm hoping they're just covered up over by Doug.
With this wind dying down, hopefully we'll get some deer action. But if we don't, it's just enjoyable to sit here and sort of think about this project and think about how lucky we are to have places like this.
I hope your night went better than mine.
Well, we had a lot of geese fly over, a beautiful sunset, and nothing else.
Not a deer?
Not a deer.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was what it was all about, you know. It's all part of it.
Yeah, I saw a button buck and a 1.5-year-old little buck.
Oh, you did?
And that was it.
Wow.
It was really slow.
The doubt is creeping in right now, and I'm wondering if we have a long, frustrating season ahead of us. What's worse than seeing only 2 deer during the first sit? We've got a storm rolling in that's bringing with it nasty wind and rain. Nowhere close to ideal conditions for any success at all. Doug and I are going to stash ourselves in the ground blind overlooking the same food plot where Luke McCauley killed his doe earlier this season. It's just about the only thing I can think to do in this situation.
I honestly, with how it's coming down now and the storm coming in, I just think it was worth it.
You don't need to convince me.
This storm basically flooded our property. I'm not getting desperate yet, but this sure sucks. Doug has one more day to give it a try.
So the game plan, I think, Doug, is, you know that wide 8-pointer I showed you a picture of?
Yeah.
So I've been getting pictures of him right here in that corner.
Gotcha.
And this area right in there is that honey hole we talked about. A lot of deer bedding all through here. Well, there's 2 spots I think that anything that's bedded in there might be headed towards. Right here is a standing cornfield, and right there is a standing cornfield. So if deer leave the hunting hole and head up towards that cornfield right there, they're gonna pass through a little food plot we have, and there's a ground blind right at the top of that.
All right.
I think that's where we should set you up for the night.
Works good with today's wind
Works
too.
good with the wind, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up in case they go the other way to this field. I'm gonna go and hang my saddle right down here at this corner, so if they come across that old field and try to go in that inside corner,
Gotcha.
they'll have to pass by me.
I like it.
So I think we'll cover off on the two most likely directions and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna see an absolute boatload of deer or nothing. I think it's gonna be hot or cold, no in between. We haven't seen a freaking deer yet. I'm just kind of at a loss. Not a single deer tonight.
I can't believe how slow it was.
I'm shocked, quite honestly. I'm shocked.
I was too. Frustrated too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not frustrated by it.
I thought the weekend would have been a lot better. I'm sorry. I
Well,
wish we could have put on a better show for you.
I'm telling you, that's hunting.
That is hunting. Well, the only good remedy I know for a deerless night is venison chili. I've
So you
got
s-
some of that going right now.
That's great. That
Do
sounds
you want to
perfect. You
go
bet.
get a bite?
Let's go and get a bite to
All
eat.
right. That'll make me feel better, at least for the short term. Do you think I can do this? I mean, when you look at all these things, and I know you've kind of tuned in and you've heard what some of these other experts have told me. You've heard from the ecologists from the NRCS. You know, I met with a couple other consultants, and every single person I've talked to has had a different set of ideas, a different set of guidelines for me. You've heard the things that Steve's talked about. You've heard my goals from a hunting standpoint. And I mean, just being honest, like it is daunting. Trying to figure out, can we balance all these things? Can we still have a great hunting property? Can we see nice bucks and have great pollinator habitat? Can we be able to have a place where I can bring out new hunters and they can have a great time, but at the same time still see big old mature bucks too?
Just not too close.
Right, yeah, not too close. Do you think this is realistic, or are we living in a pipe dream?
I think it's very realistic. My question would be, biggest question would be, what's the timetable?
Yeah.
And to be thinking about that, keep going back to that theme of time versus money.
Since I started this project, I picked up my copy of a San County Almanac and have been in the process of rereading it, looking back at that for inspiration. And I know you have spent a lot of time thinking about his words, reading his work, spending time near the places that he spent time. Is there anything from Aldo that you think that we should be thinking about or learning from? Anything you can point us towards to keep in mind throughout this project? Because it seems so in line with some of the things he's talked about.
If it tends to work with nature, that tends to be more right. If it's against, it doesn't. I'm not exactly quoting him, but those are the kinds of attitudes that go through it. And I think that Leopold would applaud this kind of effort. Not only is management, does it need to be adaptive, but it also needs to be active. And Leopold talks about that a lot in the San County Almanac about You know, we do things with the axe, we do it with fire, and we do it with the gun. And those are some of the ways that we manage properties.
Yeah.
And I think he'll do that. Oh, and let's add with the bow and arrow.
Things can always change, but as of this moment, I know where our back 40 land ethic needs to start. It has 3 main points. 1, to better understand this land and its plants and animals. 2, to cultivate a healthy, diverse ecosystem. And 3, remember that we are hunters, and we will always pursue game animals, eat them, and celebrate. Next time on the Back 40, all the work pays off.
He just went down.
If you enjoyed what you just saw, like this video, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel to make sure you catch all of our future episodes.